There is this cave. A group of humans were living in this cave. A young man and his mother were living as part of this group. One day they all went for a hunt. This mother got severely injured, and this young man carried her back to the cave. Everyone took care of the mother for a few days, but the mother died because the wound did not heal. The group's general tradition is whenever somebody dies in the cave, they all take the dead body and throw it as far as away from the cave. So they all prepared for this. Everyone tried to take away the dead body, and at this time the young man who was still mourning, he resisted. He said, like, my mother has to stay with me and I'm going to take care of my mother even if she is not moving. Everyone tried to explain what would happen if you keep a dead body in a cave, but he was not able to understand it. He revolted. And at this time, a wise man who is part of this cave came to the rescue. He thought, like, it's very hard to convince this young man. He went to the young man and he said, you can keep the mother in the cave, but not in this cave. The next door, our next door, is also a cave. Go and keep your mother in that cave so that you can go and visit your mother quite often. This young man thought it's not a bad idea. So he took the mother's body and he kept it in the cave which is next to their living cave. After a few days, he went and saw his mother, but he could not resist the smell of the decaying dead body. So he thought of an idea. Let her live in that cave, and let me close the cave with a big rock so that the smell of the cave does not travel outside. So he came back and then he lived with the group. After a few months, there was another death in the same cave. The others also thought the same. Others did not also understood death. So they also thought this young man may be right. Maybe their dead body may have some life, some type of life after death. So they also thought, okay, let's follow whatever he has done for his mother. So they also took their dear one's dead body and opened the cave's door, and they kept their dead body inside. So whenever somebody dies, they made this as a tradition. So they kept one of the cave for the living people and the other cave for the people who lives after death. And this has become a practice. Even while migrating, they did the same. Whenever somebody dies while they were moving, they find a nearby cave and put the dead body inside, and they kept moving on. And at this time, one of the clan was traveling in a plane. It was a very long, hard journey, and the leader of the clan died. He was a very old man, and he was a wise man. He kept the clan together for a very long time. So the group thought, let's give him the honor. They couldn't be able to find a nearby cave, so they thought, let's build a cave by ourselves. So they looked around. They gathered all the gravels and the sand, and they formed a small mountain type of setup. They built a small cave inside. They kept the leader inside, and then they closed it with rocks. And this has become a practice. Whenever a leader dies, he gets his own cave. So how to verify what I'm thinking is correct? In those days, I did not own a smartphone, so I couldn't be able to verify anything while traveling in the plane. So I thought, let me take this as an opportunity. Let me think through this, and let me create a list throughout the travel. And once I land in Atlanta, I can verify it whether what I'm thinking is correct. The list is as follows. At least I knew at this time there are 3 cultures where there are some connection between the death and the caves, based on the story of Jesus, the story of Wali, and the news article where they found the cave which is full of dead people. I thought I may find few more. I may find a natural mountain near the pyramid site in Egypt where they may have found some evidences where they may have buried the royals before they started building the pyramids. Until this time, all I knew was pyramids were bigger. What if I'm a builder, and how may I have built it? Probably I may have started it as a small structure, and most probably a circular based pyramid. That means the builders may have, over the period of time, the builders may have started experimenting with different shapes, sizes, and even angles. If pyramid is a representation of the mountain, then there is a chance that people might have mistook pyramid as a mountain. I landed in Atlanta, took a cab, reached home. The first thing I did was I opened up my laptop and started verifying this. The first thing is, tombs are everywhere in almost all of the cultures. The connection between the death and the caves are almost everywhere in different cultures of the world. Then I found something called the Valley of the Kings, which is a natural mountain where they buried the royals just to prevent the mummies from being stolen. Yes, I saw pyramids of all shapes, sizes, and different angles as exactly I thought in the plane. I found something called the Dosher pyramid, where when they started building it, they started with an angle and they even bent it further while they were building it. Even I saw one pyramid in Mongolia which exactly looked like a mountain. I did not find any evidence for people mistaking pyramid as a mountain, but later I found out, after like 4 months, I found out that there is a news. There is a small hill in Mexico where it was long thought as a mountain, and later they found out that it's actually a pyramid. And recently I found out that there is something called a Bosnian pyramid, which was initially thought as a mountain, and later they found out that it's a pyramid. Still there are researchers still trying to find evidences to prove that that is a pyramid. While I was taking notes, when I started reading the Bible, I found out that they did not even mention the word cave. They always mentioned the word tomb. Then I understood that, like, it was totally my understanding connecting the caves and to the Jesus death. While I was growing up, I lost my copy of the Book of Wali. I purchased a recent reprinted version of the same book, which was reprinted in October 2003. And when I read through this, I understood that my understanding why Sugriva closed the door was somewhat different than what I thought in the plane, or what I remembered over the years. The reason why Sugriva closed the cave was to prevent the giant, so that he cannot come out, so that he can save his kingdom. Then I found out that the cave full of dead people was found in Philippines, in one of the island. They are called the Kabayan mummies, or the banquet mummies, or the Ebola mummies. Some more information surprised me. There is a tradition in this island where they bury the dead people in a natural cave, exactly how I thought in the plane. But one question remains: how people of different cultures all over the world started adopting the same idea of building the pyramids. Though I did not have a definite answer, my initial answer was in 600 AD, one of the Buddhist scholar named Huang Suang traveled from China to India, traveling like thousands of miles. And I even remembered Columbus traveling thousands of miles from Europe to America. Then I remembered Vasco da Gama, Captain James Cook, Marco Polo. Even one of the Buddhist scholar from South India named Bodhidharma traveled thousands of miles to reach China. So remembering all of these travelers, I understood that there may have been even ancient travelers who might have traveled thousands of miles, and they might have spread this idea. People might have adapted this idea for various different reasons.